Hi, my name is Sydney Lang, and for my research project, I talked about the Balinese water temples and how the rice farmers of Bali have effectively used religious aspects with their agricultural methods, such as water distribution and irrigation. And they've practiced this for almost more than 1,000 years. One key anthropologist who's kind of been at the forefront of this research has been Steve Langston, and he's really dedicated a lot of his time, and this research has been really beneficial, just examining that kind of relationship. So let's get into it. To begin with, the Lake Benur, is at the base of the volcano, which is the main water source for the rice farmers, and how that water is just distributed among these rice farmers. The water goes down the mountain through rivers, and at each point along the river, there's different water temples. The Lake Benur is where their supreme goddess is believed to be residing and is very sacred to them. And a lot of different rituals are held there, and different practices are done to appease her and do what is right, so that their water distribution and rice farming in the future is like their farming seasons are successful. Water temples are broken up, like each group is called a sabuk, and that's how that each kind of region is broken up and then is corresponded with that water temple. And I think one thing that's really key about their water distribution irrigation system that the water temples help manage is just communication among all the different farmers in all the areas, so that everybody can get the proper amount of water. And this is kind of done, their communication, and like when rainy season is done, or the correct time to farm or start planting their rice is done kind of by different festivals marking the season, and is done. And so sometimes, so everyone can first off kind of be on the same page of who gets what when and how that's distributed. And sometimes the times aren't always going to be consistent of when they farm, so these different festivals and like just different rituals help mark it for the farmers. Farmers do practice terracing too for how they farm their rice, which is a really big popular method in China, and it's very effective for just rice farming in general. I think that there's one key, like the main water temple is at the base of the lake, near the lake, and then water temples go all the way down to the ocean, which I thought is really cool. And on my fourth slide, I included a picture of the water temple that's on the ocean. I think that Steve Langston has really tried to work with the government and like different people trying to come in to make farming, water distribution, all that good stuff kind of more effective, just because their method is effective and it works. But as the world continues to advance, whether it's through technology or whatever that those means may be, there's just new ideas coming in through globalization, and people are talking money, trading, all that good stuff is happening. So I think the government of Bali is trying to catch up a little bit, and they're trying to incorporate like Western cultural ideas with their ideas too. But I think when a government has power and they're able to just set what is done like their way or the highway, that's gonna happen, and their traditional methods can be ignored. So I think Steve Langston tried to bridge this communication by examining more of what the rituals of the water temples mean with the farming, and how it really is effective and works for the people, and but also introduce other methods and try to just keep communication and dialogue open. And that's a really common trend that can be seen in other case studies, where like the way of the world is just catching up with what people are doing currently, and you just have to bridge this relationship to make it so the communication and have open dialogue and not one side is ignored but benefits everyone. You want a relationship that benefits everyone, and respect the ways of an indigenous populace group, and maybe try to bring in different or other methods that can effectively benefit them. And Steve Langston was just trying his hardest to study the people, look at what they're doing with and their communication system he found out a lot through his research and among the how the water temples communicate, why they do what they do, the different festivals, like going to the highest point to get holy water and put the holy water on your field so that you can have a successful harvest crop for the future. Like, that's one ritual that I thought was really cool and I had no idea. But then, and also just trying to incorporate different things into the farming of the indigenous people. Like, he was going to bring a computer and try to place that in every single water temple. So I just think it's really important to have open communication both ways, but sometimes can be hard to agree and meet in the middle and see eye to eye on things. And that's been talked about in class and seen through different other case studies. So, yeah.